with death, taxes, and vitality taking 3 minutes to actually push a site.
That's right. And that's why Mozzie is a fun operator against it. But Thermite ban, it's not a huge surprise. You see a lot of hard breacher bans on this map. It varies, though, between Hibana and Thermite, depending on what you're trying to get away with. See, Thermite ban is more for cache, whereas a Hibana ban is more for basement. It really depends on what your primary objective is. Not necessarily, I mean, it's not going to say that is your literal primary objective, but it's, what you're trying to accomplish with the ban. And that's 2 hard breachers gone, too, so that should be exciting.
Okay.
Get those early Hibana peaks and kill it, and then,
just shoot heads, lol.
Easy peasy. Yeah, just look outside and shoot them. They're just going to be walking up to the building. Well, what will it be for defense, though? We've seen some interesting variety bans today, and that one is not uncommon. And then I hope it's not Echo next. It gets a little stale. What will it be? I hope it's something that just is totally off the wall.
Wow, they banned Tachanka!
Yeah.
Oh, it's Echo again.
You guys disappoint me.
Why am I even here?
Right? The game plays itself at this point. But it will be interesting to note that, so with Hibana being the only hard breacher, that affects how you can trick it or not trick it as well. That affects impact nading it, depending on the site. That affects hatches plays, for example, because then it has to be Maverick. So it's definitely going to affect things, and Kaed is going to be a big part of that. Kaed. Certainly not Cade, apparently. Church is going to be the first site, though, speaking of the primary bomb sites. Lion going to be possibly in play here, unless Nello's just trying to mess with them a little bit. And he is. Valkyrie, though, going to be the 6th pick from the Maestro. And that's what he's saving. From one fun operator to deal with to the other. Monty going to be coming out here from Nello on this attack. Now, they got to imagine it's either going to be cache or it's going to be basement. They're going to kind of know that. What I want to see is if it's basement in here, which it is, what is their plan for using that Monty? Obviously, they don't have a Thermite to blow up in Church Wall and have him, for example, hold that. They could push him down blue, but that's a little risky sometimes. Could come in from dirt. It's one possibility. Or if they want to be really silly, they can drop in through Kitchen Hatch, and that works sometimes, but very rarely. There's that. Thank you, Marcio. Oh, such a doll.
What a great observer.
The greatest. If he could observe himself observing, I think it'd blow his mind.
Probably does that at home. I mean, he does stream.
I suppose he could just look at the VODs. Well, we'll see.
I just don't want to use the term greatest of all time, the GOAT, anymore. And it really irks me that I even say that sentence. I really don't get it.
I'm going to come up with a new animal acronym that's positive.
I understand, but like when everybody's the GOAT, nobody's the GOAT. And, some people even putting it in their name.
How about like sheep? Superhero, exceptional, extra person. You're the sheep.
You're an extra person, my friend.
Definitely emphasis on special.
Mom says that all the time.
You're the sheep, Milosh.
Zofia entering here into the toilet area. Kendrew is nearby, so there's no real roam play being set up by Vitality, and that's not really something that's really surprising.
Yeah. Especially with Monty in play, you definitely don't want to be doing that. And obviously they don't know that yet because, of course, it's just drones going in right now. They haven't had a chance to peek out at them. That Goo Mine getting it spotted, though, they're going to know that's going to be there, so that one's not going to be as useful against the Monty, for example. But, they could get killed, try to peek to clear it. There's the Bonnet going to be opening up the hatches here.
Time to make a new door.
At least there's 3 sets of Nitro cells that you can use for advantage. Again, Cotted, if you guys have not played just yet, Cotted has lost his impact grenades that he's had in the past, and going for a bit of tricking here on his own. Citizen, that opens up a small angle into, well, actually, the one, if he opens up right next to it, it actually gives him a tiny angle into the, there you go, into the bar in the back.
He taught Spark a thing or two right there.
Yep, well, Citizen, very well done. And again, that's an angle that rare are the people that use it. Grenade's going to be shot in the back, but actually picked up by an ADS as Doki walks on in. He goes for a pre-fire around the wall, unsure where his opponents are. They just keep peeking around. There's 2 of them in Qual. Will end up winning the engagement as Doki is a bit too aggressive in there. We'll wait for the Monty finally to show up. Nello, he's got his teammates flowing in a bit too fast, and more damage. Big Boo's close to dying here on the Legion.
Super boots. Still just pinging him.
These are so great tag holes that are being used up by NaVi.
Heavy angle play.
Sneaky on the angle, double shots rattling up, and we'll just have to fall back. Not sure if NaVi were able to open up the hatch from bar. Last time we saw there was a bit of tricking being done by the Cotted. There's still spots being set on the Legion in the back. Saves will rotate around as he lost all of his Skyros. A quick peek from Sneaky. Find a headshot. Tries to get the second, but only a body shot to connect. And actually an extra nitro from Qual to take down Saves. There's no more left. Bibu's low on HP. 30 seconds have just passed. So Nello's going to have to go in for the fight. And Bibu, perfect timing to melee Nello and take him out. Kendra's unsure of his opponent's R as an EMP is nowhere to be found. Smoke is going to get thrown in, but it'll rush right through it. They'll pre-fire, but the Valkyrie's already there. Actually, Bibu, even from barely any HP, he's just playing on his own. Yeah. Bibu is an absolute beast.
So one thing to me that seems like a mistake in terms of Vitality's lineup there is if they can't bring a Thermite or a Maverick, what are you doing banditing the wall? What do you bring a bandit for to bandit the church wall when they can't even open? Because you know they're going to use at least 2 for hatches.
And it was very early in the round as well.
Because if they had Maverick, sure, they could Maverick the hatches. But because Maverick's banned as well, you know they've got to use them for the hatches, which means they're going to have 1 at most for that church wall. So picking bandit, a bit of a waste. Mute would have been a better choice. Because, you know, at the very least, you could have used his mute jammers elsewhere. You only would have needed 2 for that wall, and you would have had 2 to use. 1 for example, the door from Moto in, perhaps. Or I suppose you could use it for dirt if you needed as well. It's just, I don't know. It wasn't a big thing. It didn't really cost them the round or anything like that, but it's just something I noticed that just seemed like, obviously you're just playing to your strat regardless of the bans. Mm-hmm. But you could have played it differently. That being said, though, of course, 3 speed with a good gun is nice as well. We will see them going upstairs, and they're going to be bringing a Mozzie. Already 2 of the pests out here, and the last one yet to be put out. Now they're going to be bringing that Monty again, as well as the Kayed in here, too. So Kayed and Bandit again, although not as necessary maybe on this particular side, especially without the Thermite in play. But they really want to make sure that that door isn't getting open, and they're going to force them probably to have to use the Monty going in through the stairs up the catwalk as their primary means of attack if they cannot get that cache wall open, which is, again, it's going to be very difficult with both a Bandit and a Kayed and only the Habana, because guess what? You can just throw the Electricaw to deny it, and they're going to have to time those Thatcher EMPs perfectly to stop that. So we'll see how it goes, though. They did leave this wall soft so we can get on in right there. They could use the sledge for it, though, not use one of the lifelines. Save themselves some utility, which they might do. We saw a ping come out from that. Looks like Doki, though, just trying to make sure that it's clear to actually enter and he's not going to get killed in the process, potentially. They're actually going to just drop into office with the shield here.
We can push forward.
So they're going for, nope, no garage. I think this is the smarter approach. So they're going to go ahead and go for a push straight on into the connector.
It's odd that there was no reinforcement that had been set here from...
Had to be they were just out of reinforcements.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're setting most of them. Maybe some in garage, maybe some in other positions as well that were really required by NaVi. Now, they also bring the Mozzie, so it's going to make it a bit more difficult for NaVi to gather information. You see the drone already coming in.
You don't need the drone. He's just going to stand in the doorway.
Yeah, you got really the best drone in the game.
He's like, guys, let me describe to you the scene I see in here. Well, it looks like they're going to try and deny it now. They just got to keep them distracted because they are going to be able to deny that wall potentially from being opened.
I'm not sure about the Nitro. Maybe he's trying to get someone in the back. The X-Kyro should be able to detonate. Yes, they will. Qual, in the meantime, though, will find the kill on Doki as he rotates in from behind his opponent. So now NaVi have to watch the push from the bedroom.
They don't have the diffuser anymore either, and they're so focused on the actual push, they haven't picked it back up. And the rotate coming around from behind them is going to potentially be a big deal here. Split attention. We'll see if he even gets droned properly. There we go. Good, chase him away. Get him back into that gym. He needs to work out.
Free fire from Saves here through the wall. Citizen will find Sneaky, taking away the Mozzie. He was solo on his own downstairs. There's no way to open up the wall here, at least to deal with the back flank. We're at 43 seconds left on the clock. A site's going to be completely open, but shots from the side. Bibu will find 2. That's Kendrew and Nello. Citizen coming in from the back, but a bit too slow, as the Bono will have to watch for the flank. Bibu will need to go for the peek here, but he realizes that he doesn't actually have to go around for it.
Unnecessary. That's a clue.
And definitely gives away Citizen's position, but he actually walks in from behind the Maestro. Goes in to keep firing at him, but there's 10 bullets left in the magazine. Qual will find the kill on Saves, and Now it's Citizen all on his own. Vitality looking for round number 2 and will connect again. 2 rounds in a row. Going for an early advantage to NaVi, but then splitting very quickly in the hands of Vitality. They're not over-peaking. They're not giving themselves up. Vitality just the immovable rock.
Was that a 4K for Bibu too? If not, either way, 3K is fine. He is just...
It's okay. It's still fine.
So, silly spelling name aside, he is doing quite well for this team. That was definitely a good round there. Obviously, the way the operator bans went down and the way they were set up, they were able to deny quite a bit. Not everything, but forcing them to completely bottleneck through one door. The Monty was a nice idea for it, but that was all they really had to be able to try and surprise them with. Could they stick this line again, or are they just going to 6-pick to the Monty? Qual going to do the 6-picking over to the Valkyrie, so they might not suspect the cameras, and then, of course, then they're not going to 6-pick over to an IQ or anything like that to be able to spot those. So the line is in play here. Got Bibu with 5, Qual with 4. Those two alone doing quite a bit of work for the team, although credit to Sneaky with 3 assists. You know, sometimes we forget to mention the assists. I still do wish the assists in this game counted for more than just a single HP of damage, you know, in the sense of they represented higher assist amount.
Yeah, like at least in professional play, where it's not just you have to do like a certain amount of damage, or if you do the damage and the finisher is way later, then it's it kind of resets it.
I don't know. I'm still okay with that because you soften them up, and there's attackers, for example, don't really have much of a way to heal themselves, stuff like that. So you did somewhat do the job.
Just get a Finkel, lol. Just have the doc heal you, lol.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, the enemy doc can heal you too. Yeah. Why not? Make a truce.
And hypothetically speaking,
I won't shoot.
It's all possible.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this attack goes down on Jim. Their 3rd bomb site here. Of course, they're not going to go for bar. I would love to see it, but it's very uncommon. Ping's coming out here trying to mark someone playing on the catwalk. Unfortunately, not going to do a whole lot here, but they are certainly trying. Sneaky trying to live up to his name, but fortunately, he is going to get spotted. Look around in the trade. Well, good on saves to at least pull that back, but that's Lion gone.
I was just going to talk about the Lion. He made my entire point moot.
Well, he saved us all from having to hear it. So,
okay. Okay, Devin.
Okay, write it down. I'll read it later, okay?
I'm sensing some hostility.
I promise I'll read the email.
Okay. HR will hear about this.
If you call it HR, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Classic.
Is that another line that's going to HR?
Oh my god.
These alibis and windows are such a classic play on this map now. It's like you just take all these windows they added, you know, that they have, and it's just deny them completely by putting those prismas in there. Even though alibi is dead, it's very useful.
She still does work. That's what I was saying. She's a good operator.
He's just so close to exposing part of himself.
You need to burn out utility.
Oh no, burn out the ADSs. Hurry.
Grenade!
Oh, he's gonna peek it.
Oh, that's a perfect angle.
Do it. Oh, too slow. Spark. At least he has an escape route, but he takes no, the drone.
Oh no.
He was gonna try and reinforce that wall too, I think.
He's getting shot from the drone hole, so well done there by NaVi to at least push him back. Take out the alibi. Nitro Cell very quickly, the refrag. Very well done by Qual.
Berde, I don't think gonna try and reinforce that wall either. Good on them to actually reinforce the bathroom. I mean, in terms of getting back in the bathroom. But 3v3 here with a minute left. Still advantage to the defenders. They still have potentially maybe a Nitro Cell left. And I think they might have used them all, I'd say. But Qual going to take one down now. Actually puts advantage here and then trade it back. They don't want to give this up.
Oh, quick frags though. Oh my. The 2 L85s just going in ham, and NaVi will just clamp all of the kills in the final few seconds of the round.
Not a surprise, though, to see this be the one that NaVi win in terms of the fact that it's the 3rd bomb site for Vitality.
Yeah.
Their best bomb site. And we see that as a common pattern. You know, you have your strong bomb sites. If you win those, that's the only time you have to go to your 3rd bomb site, right? So in those cases, then it's usually your worst one, or you would be playing it earlier. We'll see how they do back in church, then. Now they can go back downstairs. We'll see what strategy they will adopt in terms of the fact that they probably learned some things for that first round. I liked the angle play of the first round. That was pretty good on that attack. They just didn't have the ability to follow through and close it out. Meister getting 6-picked over to the Valkyrie, though, and no 6-picks coming out from NaVi. They're just fine showing that off. The Nomad going to be useful to help stop some of those flanks, I imagine, but the question is he going to play it like we saw last match where they all get used early on, or is he going to save some for stopping retakes? Look at all the nice little uniform 2s there. Kendra, you need to pick up 2 this round. Go ahead and even that out for us, okay? Or OCD is going to kick in.
Camera in position.
Oh, so close. That's tilting. I'm trying to get that camera there. The camera spots are just getting like sneakier and sneakier in this game. Like just the ways people are trying to hide them in terms of little alcoves and concerned with which angle you can see them from. It's just nice to see a gadget kind of evolve over time in terms of nothing having to be changed in the game, just people having to find more and more better and better spots, rather. Being able to throw them outside, of course, is fun as well. I would almost like to see more operators, more defensive operators that could do things outside, that can throw things outside. As we have, for example, you know, the Echo drone and the Mozzie capture drones that can't go outside, but you can throw cameras outside. And we don't really have a whole lot else. It'd be interesting to see what else they would come up with for that. I suppose you could throw kites outside if you wanted to electrify something already out there, but...
Yeah, but...
I could see that in a possible scenario where you're trying to hit a wall or something, and... I mean, super extreme, you know, edge case scenario, but I just mean I'd like to see more gadgets that were deployable outside and useful, so attackers kind of had to pay a bit more attention to something other than spawn peaks.
We'll see if at some point we'll see some of that play out at some point.
Or angles from... That's been a pretty common one though lately.
Yeah. A lot of pre-open holes. This is one that's usually always set up by the defense. Have just a hole opened up either with the MP7 or usually with the Cloud. Just a couple of shots with this TCSG will open up part of the floorboard. It is in the same location as it was before, but his opponent is right under him. Deal with him there. EMP thrown in the back. A sneaky going to destroy. So instead of the utility in the back, and actually the impact grenade does not hit. The X-Kairos were a bit too far away for the impact to hit, so Goo Mines will have to be set. Bibu still has 2 in his back pocket. Just going to fall back as saves to continue to open up more and more holes. I'm not sure if Citizen is bringing any breaching charges on his Sofia, and there we go. As I mentioned, it's exactly what's happening. Thank you for listening to me, Citizen. Proving me right, as usual.
I'm sure he was. That was absolutely a response to what you said, even though he already used one. Firebolt's coming out though to push Qual off, and he's already gone. The droning from him of him earlier was much earlier, and that's the thing. The information expires over time. And Sneaky though able to get a kill on the Citizen. So far, this is still not doing so great for NaVi. Oh, there's a nice air jab. Stop a rotate there.
Maybe it won't have any effect on the round here. Even with EMPs, the Kaya tricking has been just fantastic from Vitality. Sneaky definitely playing that wonderfully.
The attempted push into dirt as well.
Okay, just walks on in.
All right, hello.
I don't think he's that short. Should be able to notice him coming in here. Now he tries to smoke himself off. He'll throw in a one-tap crossbow bolt. Get fired upon from the back. A Spark with 1 kill. Nitro cells being thrown all the way in the back as the diffuser is being set by Kendro. Saves with a refrag onto Bride. Sneaky will find saves. Kendro is still all on his own here. He's going to get shot from above. Sneaky is looking out for him. Eventual drop here as he takes a single bullet to the back and finally finished off by Sneaky. Well done as an air jab goes off in the rotation. The Cloud of Sneaky will just throw everything that he has at his opponents. And that's a run. One out by Vitality.
There was no way he was going to survive.
No.
He was just getting surrounded by bullets. The only way he would have survived that is if they were shooting at him with a crossfire and just shot each other on accident. That I could see saving him. But outside of that, no. So, Church won again. Back to cash we go. So far, great play here from Vitality, who've only had to lose on their 3rd bomb site. Doing pretty good. If they win this again, of course, they'll have to go to gym one more time, but there's a possibility they could win that. They are going to be bringing in that Mozzie again, going with the same strategy they did last time. Mozzie did die a little bit early, unfortunately, but still pretty useful potentially. Kendrew going to be switching up that Nomad for the IQ this time. That would allow him to spot those pests, but Sneaky, being Sneaky, sneaks up. Nope, Kendrew actually, it's like he almost knew the Kaed was coming instead. And that's going to be, of course, just like last time, to deny. Maybe they read into that and were like, oh, you know, he's just going to pick the Kaed. They need that for the defense. And kind of called an audible not to 6th pick over to the IQ. Possibly. As
some people, I mean, some teams pick up the Clyde, but don't really end up doing too much with them.
But they did last time, so I got to imagine they were reading into that again. But no Monty this time for the push. They've got to go a little bit different approach for it. They could, the Capital could lean towards the pushing garage, trying to use that for the catwalk potentially. They could go for the old let's open up part of the garage with the Hibana, and then, you know, use the fire bolts to try and take control of the catwalk. Typical kind of play. Nice thing is the air jabs can also help stop those runouts from garage. If you don't take control of garage, you can put one there. And of course, it stop runouts on the cache wall if you can happen to get that open, but not going to be easy with all this denial from the bandit and the Kaid. See, they're a little cautious about spawn peeks here, but none coming out. The old tap through the walls. There is someone up on the catwalks there, and Maestro got his evil eye in position to be able to see downwards as well, down towards the bottom of the cache stairs, which is definitely important. You don't want a flank coming out from there. Taking control underneath is usually important, but again, no buck being played. Something that we saw, just from one team last map.
I think we saw it from the stream in one round. They brought him out and got shot instantly.
I think a couple rounds Corey played buck.
Oh yeah, the second round where he killed himself with a grenade, yes.
That was talent. All right, well, they're working on getting this open. See if they time it well. Kaid is going to throw his electric claw in time to stop it. What are you doing, Kaid? And is it... I think he did it a little late, but... Yep, a little late.
Oh, he'll track the second one.
They still have one left, though, to be able to open that to a bigger hole, if they can, and it'll be a little bit easier. The benefit of Kaid is, with bandit tricking, you have to be right up against the wall. With Kaid tricking, you can be much farther away, much safer. And that's the important part, is you don't want to be in a position, of course, where you get shot doing it.
It is really a big worry, because Vitality were the team that banned out the Thermite, and then NaVi removed the Maverick. So, removing the Thermite from play, when you'd usually be expecting a Maverick plus the Thermite on this map specifically, it just means that Vitality have to put in the extra work. Yeah. When it comes to winning as many rounds. Oh!
There's the extra work.
That's a lot of it. Citizen with a refrag.
That was the only hard breach with the only hard breach left. That 1x Cairo not going to be used now. Citizen did take a lot of damage, but I would say
it's a crawl hole.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where you may as well not even crawl, just lay down and die.
Kendra's in. He's right up behind them. Spark has no clue what's going on. His teammates are completely blinded out. Damage done to the Nomad turning around, but it's again Kendra to find a second kill. Maybe they're trying to go for the frag through the window. Sneaky is watching the same angle as well. In fact, when they throw in the back, is now you can use the fact that the entirety of the railing is reinforced. Kendra will take a bit of damage off of that, but there's no denying the fact that Vitality have pretty much lost control of this at this point. Sneaky firing all the way in the back as he can't really find any kills. The Capital crossbow bolts are coming in. You can already hear one of them. A lot of damage done to the attacking side. It's one kill, not the second though. Going the way of Vitality. Sneaky with 4 shots still left in the TCS G12. Going in for the reload. He's got the angle grip, so quick fire is definitely a possibility. He downs Nello, goes in for the second shot on Kendra. Still one alive is Doki, and Doki will save the round. Turning around on the Capital. Sneaky to go down. Very well done by NaVi here, just realizing they lost the Hibana, they lost the advantage, and then Kendra just dives from the window. Just shoot their heads low.
Kendra's my hero that round. Just like, you know what? I'm just going to go in. But it's not just that he won the one fight he got into right at the beginning of that, too. So well played by him, taking a complete advantage of their distraction. At the time, there's the buck coming out potentially from Kendra. For the final cache defense here, realizing, okay, relying on the Hibana, not so great. We need to buck underneath. We need to take their ability to play bandit there. Out of the picture. And scratch that. Kendra back on Nomad. You're not my hero anymore, Kendra.
I mean, he played Nomad pretty well.
He did. I'm just saying the buck.
I don't hate Kendra. Better be,
Can I say it at the time?
Better
just
not
on weekends?
be hating on my boy.
It's a weird name. It's like Kevin and Andrew combined.
Kendra. I love how...
Like I couldn't choose. I want to name him Kevin. I want to name him Andrew. Let's just call him Andrew.
Let's compromise and call him the two.
Why not?
Usually we'll compromise. Just call him whatever my wife wants to call him.
Oh. But he'll get my name as his middle name.
Oh, God. It's too real, man.
It's too real. It's too close to home. All right, well, we'll see if they can pull it off this round. The Firebolts as well seem to help a little bit last round in terms of trying to deny their ability to retake. I just wonder how much effort they're going to put into trying to get that wall open. This time, though, there is no Kaid. It's dependent entirely on the Bandit. I can imagine Vitality knows, too, that trying to defend that is not going to be as critical this time, that NaVi's going to try a different approach as well, specifically because it worked us. Or just come outside. Hello, Bibu.
Bonjour, how are you?
At least shoot the drone.
Fresh pastry in the morning.
That's what he was coming out for his morning baguette. All right. I should never try and do that accent again.
He's going out for his morning baguette. Go, you have to really give it a...
No, I'll let you. You go full tilt. You jump on that grenade.
I'm a... How do you say it? I'm a secret Frenchman. I'm a sneaky secret
If you
Frenchman.
want to keep it that way, that's fine. Ooh, the pest almost denying, or almost getting the drone there, but that does deny it again. That's what we're talking about. Is this a better mute? Oh, now here we go.
Oh my God! People being stunned to death at this point.
Yeah. Lifeline indeed. That does get most of all of it, but the fact that it doesn't get all of it, that might not be enough to slip. Might have to walk through sideways.
I think he can vault through it. Can he vault through this?
I don't know, but
Should be able to.
Trying to is probably going to get you shot.
Yes.
So you don't want to really test that.
That's why you have Capital, right?
The pest again, denying some of this movement. Yeah, that's why you have Capital, so you can just smoke it off and jump in. They totally won't see that coming.
Jump in.
Jump. All right. Doki holding an angle, though, to make sure there's no rotate around. To make sure they aren't trying to leave. Decide not to, so I want to see how much push here is going to come into this garage door, because Qual is waiting for it, but he's kind of trying to defend two areas at once. He's getting a little distracted. If they can drone and kind of find out the right timing, they could potentially stop him. He also is concerned about that Zofia playing from below. So I guess they didn't end up needing the buck. They did something similar. This pest is really living up to its name there. They cannot seem to figure out how to get in there because they can't jump it.
Yep, you can't jump it. It automatically latches to the drone. There's also Spark waiting around in case it penetrates through the defense, which it won't. It's literally impossible.
Spark doing a great job calling this out there from his camera. Gives a nice kill onto Nello.
Very well done by Qual, and all the information is being relayed in by the Evil Eye. A second easy one here for Qual, but he's still barely alive here, holding on for dear life. And just because of the fact that you're limited to just the Habana on its own, Qual wonderfully done a flawless run for Vitality here on the defense. But even though you're limited to only the Habana and not the Thermite, there was still at least some trial by NaVi to enter the site. Now, this is the biggest problem, because Cash becomes so much more difficult to defeat because you can't open up Garage, because you don't have a second alleyway of attack. You are forced in through one way. And this is why it's still impressive that with 3 times this set is played, NaVi were still able to get 1 victory on it. Very narrow, but at least they got 1 point on it.
Thanks to Kendrew's power play. That round, though, was Qual's.
Yeah, 100%.
He made that garage his little workshop of death, and it worked out. And he's going to be the one to go the buck potentially this time. Citizen going to be sneaking over to that bandit for Church here. Again, the doubling up of the bandit Kaid. The Kaid, obviously for the hatches, sure. The bandit, though, again, I question the purpose of it. I understand they could use Habana on it, but again, they're going to need to open at least 1 hatch, which means at maximum they would have 2 X-Kairos for that. Just barely enough. You might even be able to hang out in Moto and knock them off, potentially. So a church wall push is just not going to happen. I don't think you need to bother with it. And, I mean, yeah, they might even have Thatcher, but they're going to be using Thatcher to try and take care of the 2 Kaid Electro Claws on the hatches. So they're guaranteed to have a maximum of 1 EMP left at the end as well. So it's like, I don't know, it just seems like overkill. You might even be able to trick it to where you see the EMP coming down, you pull off the Electro Claw, so that they've wasted 1 EMP.
Yeah, that's what's usually happening with the Cloud.
That's what I'm saying. So like, the bandit's unnecessary, because then if you can keep 1 Electro Claw and force them to use their EMPs, then you have 1 to do on the church wall. So it's just, I don't know, it just, because you can deny the X-Kairos if you kind of know they're coming. Yeah, you can't trick them per se, but I don't know. I just thinking all out here. Obviously, they know what they're doing and have a different strategy in mind. It just seems like a curious choice. Maybe it's just overkill protection, though, just to make sure they don't have to worry about that wall. In the meantime, though, they are still pushing blue a lot of the time here because of the inability to open up the church wall successfully. There's a lot more focus, I think, on blue. And those blue stairs, we see a lot of push for it to be able to go for flanks. Even pushes for church last time as well when Natus was on.
Oh, perfectly timed with the EMP. You're expecting the... Did it already... Oh, no, they still lost a set of X-Kairos.
Yeah, it wasn't perfectly timed.
No, no.
Well...
Unfortunate.
So, that means now if they want to open 2 Kaid Electroclad hatches, now they will have to use all of their EMPs.
There's still one set of Skyros left, and I believe Kendrew still has one Ratila. And I'm not sure if it has been deployed yet. No, there we go. He has it in his hand. So probably be using it on the kitchen hatch, as he is definitely prepared for it. There's a rotation hole as well.
He's waiting. But even if he fails to do it, he's going to force them to use up all of their EMPs and all of their X-Kairos. So not bad. There you see it electrified already, so they definitely did it. They could also impact trick it, but Bibu, though, trying to hold down the hallway from down above, below, whereas everyone else is above. So he's kind of solo playing this here to an extent, whereas everyone else is trying to get free picks from the kitchen. This is just asking for a C4 to send them all to an early grade. But Toki actually wanted to get down, kill on Bibu. Now no one is downstairs to fight this. They're all just looking for free picks upstairs. And looks like the lottery system could work out for Qual here. And it doesn't. That was barely even any damage.
That's one bullet in the foot of Kendra.
Well, the recoil on the C8's a beast, though. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Still, it's barely any angle here for you to use them. By the time you get hit with one bullet, you're just immediately walking back. You know what's going on. He being on the defense. Sneaky will walk on in and just checking his cassette threat on the IQ, making sure there's nobody. If people know actually what a cassette is at this point in time. Pre-fire from Sneaky as he takes extra damage, and Doki will just walk right into him. Spark unsure of where the fire is coming in, and Doki just ducking and diving around him. Bride, beautiful shot, 2 shots on Citizen to save. Little time left as Bride is the last man alive. He'll have to go through the last 3 from Team NaVi. Kendrew just waiting for the right moment at 0-0. He can go in and very safely go for the kill. And that's all she wrote.
That was actually kind of close.
Kendrew, he finds it. Well done. Not only the play with the Electroclaws, but even with a final save, and very smart from NaVi to just stay back and play their time advantage.
So, naming him 2 names at once after all didn't end up challenging his ability to win this round. It's good for them. That was a good round, though, for NaVi. Definitely a bit of a sloppy round for Vitality. They had trouble with the hatches and the Electroclaw. They had trouble doing anything from kitchen, just stacked up in there. They might as well have been making food at that point. It looked like I was watching Overcooked with guns. Just not able to really accomplish a whole lot. And that was just wasting the whole round. And then Bibu died in the meantime downstairs. The top fragger just was a very uncoordinated attack. I feel like the bans on both the Maverick and the Thermite have really stunted a lot of attacks in general for both teams. It was, I mean, they both did it to themselves. You know, they both banned one from each, so I guess they gonna have to deal with it. But Cash coming up next here after a successful defensive church. Qual up to 10. First to reach double digits. Part of the reason that Vitality is ahead right now. Doki, though, putting up a great fight himself. 8, more than double everyone else or anyone else on this team. So good for him. See how things go down here. You see the holes in the wall there. Try and make things more difficult, I suppose. Mute Jammer, though. Interesting choice. So they've got a Bandit, but they're going to go with the Mute Jammer on the wall instead. Now, they could use that to try and deny multiple Thatchers, right? So you've got the Mute Jammer gets Thatchered, and then you switch to the Bandit batteries and the Kaid. Actually, the Kaid first. But then it's like, so they've got 3 different things to deny that wall being opened.
Yeah.
I got to imagine that's going to take more EMPs than Thatcher could hatch.
And it doesn't just take EMPs, it also takes a lot of good droning, and because of the site, just putting a drone in this site is already difficult enough, but then you have to have it survive for long enough that you can get the information in and really time it with everybody else. At this point, it might just be better to either bucket from below, which is exactly what's going to happen here, or just grenade it from the window.
Yeah. I'm glad to see the buck being played again because it's so useful from both. Same with the Zofia, of course. Both of them work very well from underneath. Saw it last time on the Bandit as well to do some serious stun to that. But it's going to be very difficult to get this wall open, although I imagine Vitality have the potential to do it. They just have to time things very, very well. They're going to go for some flashes, test the ADS first, see if it's possible to do that, then the grenade to follow it up. See if they can try and clear out that Mute Jammer potentially even. Nope, that's not the grenade you want. It's not it, Chief. He's going to go for a second one. Hopefully that cleared out the Mute Jammer for him. Going to try and check it possibly with a drone.
I mean, there's nothing yet, so it seems like it was cleared.
I mean, I suppose he'll know whether or not he gets the static from the Mute Jammer on the drone if that's close enough to it. And he could also go around for the stuns from behind, for example, through the cache window. But it looks like Sneaky going to be the one actually watching that instead. Now the question, so okay, they've started the first part of their attack. Now this is where we start to shift into kind of the mid-round. EMP's coming out. They're going to start to try and push this wall open. Looks like they might be able to pull it off potentially here.
Oh.
Going for it. Bandit's going to try and deny it. And he doesn't. Sneaky takes him.
Tila.
Yep, there we go.
It's on out. Kendra will save it. Doki and Sneaky will trade a kill. Remove the buck for the Bandit, but the Bandit doesn't really need to exist here past the Nitro Cell.
And that was the redundancy, the having the 3 different things and starting with the Mute Jammer. Kendra, though, actually playing in Garage even. Still holding that down. Now that wall has been denied, and the Garage has been denied. It's not looking good for Vitality's attack.
No, he spots the butt of the rifle here at the edge of it. Saves will finally be eliminated, but that's the Jaeger, and there's still the Kite in the back, and Spark will find Kendra. Finally taken down, so just shot through the wall. Doki comes on in, though, finds Bride. It's a double kill for him.
1 HP, though.
Just gotta be very careful here which gunfight he takes next. Nello at least save his teammate for a moment. Bibu C4, Nitro Seldon taken away from the round. Spark watching on the rotation, and Doki will finally be eliminated. Nello, they know exactly where he's at here, Vitality, so they can just go against him and use their advantage, their positional advantage. Spark will find him and take him out, even though the Diffuser's still left on the outside. Wouldn't have been even able to go on out and walk it, and the Mute actually pushes right into him, unbeknownst to the Mute.
That's unfortunate, too, because all you had to do was play time because that Diffuser, is on the move, basically. Well, we'll try Cash again, as it was a pretty good defense overall, but just lost on some firefights, especially losing quite a few players at once when Kendra died, the Jaeger and the Kaed. So we'll see if anything happens different here on the attack to try and make it a little bit easier to get that open. They had a good plan, though. You saw that, for example, the shots from behind on a Citizen, taking out the Bandit as he was trying to trick the wall. But like you said, the Kaed was enough to do it as well because he has an angle from the Garage. Captal going to come out, though, I imagine, to control that catwalk a little bit better. They want the Garage this time. They don't want, for example, Kendra to be able to hang out on that catwalk and try and trick that wall. They need all the pressure they can get. Doki, though, sitting at 10 as well, trying to give Qual run for his money. But Sneaky's actually sneaking his way up to the top as well and has overtaken Bibu. It's looking pretty good. Vitality, though, 1 more point, and they guarantee they get the 1 point for the day at a minimum. They did lose last time because their last match was to Empire, so not a huge surprise there. But they definitely have the potential to beat this now. A lot of people were thinking that NaVi could do this, and I think there's still definitely a possibility for it. But so far, I gotta say, I'm leaning a bit towards Vitality. They seem a little bit stronger in both their defenses and their attacks. And I don't think they're taking always as long as we're used to them taking. I feel like some of these attacks, they are being a bit more efficient than we used to see them, but you know, some of that is down to the bans, I suppose, as well. In terms of like Echo being banned in Mira, those are definitely some operators that can really delay a push. Let's see. Qual gonna make sure that stock is clear so he can go underneath and do some bucking, as well as the lounge there. Comes on in. He can start doing this pretty early. Always, of course, when you're doing this, when you're droning for yourself, you put a drone in, you check it's clear, you open up a barricade, and then you check for a reaction to make sure it stays clear. Because that's the thing, as soon as you make sound, you could be drawing attention. You need to make sure that you don't. And so that's why he follows it up like this. Make sure he can go in solo without extra coverage, that all the adjacent rooms are clear as well. And now this is where they're going to start potentially. I imagine Bibu might start putting some pressure on the Garage. But it's a little late. They're already spending all their time opening this wall here. It looks like they're going to get it opened again.
I'm really unsure how these X-Kairos are not aligning correctly. That was fixed.
Well, they're going to try to clean it up. He actually managed to get all of them going here, at least. Got to use all 3. And that is not much better. If you had a Maverick to just kind of touch that up.
It's literally the edge, like, oh my.
And there's a skill, too, to getting those X-Kairos to do what you want without leaving, like, lines and things like that. It's tricky. I love that you get a little box. Here we go. This is what Bibu was brought for. It's what he was born for, and he does push him off. The only problem was they weren't ready to take the shots to follow it up and give it a chance to get away. Saves, though, takes... there's the follow-up from Sneaky.
It's exactly what you need. There's a position that was popularized by Pengu, but a lot of players really play this position because it makes a lot of sense. And it really allows you to deal with players there as well. Some teams, including G2, will even have a shield put in place to protect the player behind it with a half-reinforced wall. Qual, though, will be eliminated, but Buck has already done his job. Bibu has taken a lot of damage also in this one, so definitely doable for NaVi. The Capitao is still alive, though. This is the thing that you really need to worry about. When you don't fully kill the Capitao, he can just sit back and relax.
Well, he's going to go for his bolts now to try and set up for next Q, but there's still smokes available, as you saw one just go out. I got to imagine Doki might have a C4 as well, and Citizen might have a C4, I imagine, too. So it's dangerous trying to go into that smoke for a plant.
Doki's waiting. He's waiting for the right moment. He can just vault on in.
No C4 as well. Thanks for showing us that, Marcio.
Nitro Cell on the backhand. The back here for the Kendrew. Vitality are waiting for the call. Ready to see the Habana moving in, and that's close to the window. That's definitely not something you'll be expecting on the defense. Sneaky will find Nello, so they eliminate the smoke before he is able to use any of his utility. An easy plan. Bride will find another kill. You're definitely not expecting anyone to be planting in that position. Sneaky with one more, just playing excellently on the IQ. The gun is definitely working out here. Citizen last man alive, and it's looking like Vitality be able to find, there you go, the 6th point, 6th round on the board. The Bandit even falling there at the end, kind of frustrated with the fact that things are not really going his way.
So, NaVi with a worse cash record than Vitality, unfortunately. Vitality did lose it once, but they won it twice, whereas cannot say the same here for NaVi, who lost it twice in a row. Now, of course, they can go back to church, which they will. But you got to imagine they are pretty bummed at this point, seeing as it's already match point, meaning they cannot win this. All they can do is draw or lose. And so far, based on what we saw last match, where it was 6-3, more than likely lose, unfortunately. But they're still going to put up a heck of a fight here and try their best to stop that from happening. We'll see if Vitality end up in the same situation, though, last time when they attacked church, where they just stacked up top. Couldn't get anything on the kitchen. So what they're going to do instead is Baby's going to bring big old mountain, try and stomp his way in there.
Should just have everything directly translated into English.
Well, that
when you say captain, it's called.
Then we wouldn't have to worry about trying to pronounce Dokkaebi correctly.
Dokkaebi. Well, it's Dokkaebi.
That wasn't a Q. It wasn't a Q!
Mask.
Write it down. All right, but again, with the redundant electricity and the mute jammer as well, they're going with all that denial. Hopefully it pays off for them, as of course this could be their last round. And of course, got to reinforce all those hatches and hope they can trick them to an extent with Kendrew on that kid.
What's the big problem with NaVi? Every single end of round, they're left with 2 players, one on the site and one off of it. They were never able to translate their roam into actual success. And Sneaky's constant maneuvering on the map, on the IQ before and possibly now on the Capitao, has just been too much for them to deal with. Now, Vitality realizing that the IQ has not really been the most important operator for them to run, especially with the huge potential of them needing to attack downstairs here in church, put Sneaky on the Capitao and bring Bibu on the Monty as you highlighted in the pick phase. That's the big part here. And Vitality are, and this is very weird to say, are wasting no time by taking control of the bar.
Yeah. We'll see what they do with it, though. We see the nice angle there from the Buck as well, opening up the hole through the, so he could stand in the bar safely and fire down, something we used to see a lot of. Not as much anymore, but they are going to go with a bit of a roam clear here into bar. Make sure it stays clean. And we're not really seeing a whole lot of roam play from defenders on basement. It just seems to be very turtled up, taking advantage of the fact that they denied 2 hard breachers in the van phase. Now they're going to hold down the dirt tunnel. Will we see the Monty go down dirt? Or will we see him go with a little bit of a different push? Hard to say. It looks like they do want to control blue. We saw this before. Capitao, of course, is one of the best people to try and take this because of the firebolt behind the generator. Oh, so useful, but I like the positioning of the drone to be able to consistently watch it. He can have someone watch that while he's setting up the firebolt to make sure that there's someone still behind it this time. As previously, when the firebolt had gone off, it already escaped. A lot of rotation happening for the defenders downstairs. So there's the Monty. He's going to be going down dirt tunnel. See if they could put him in the dirt. But he's going to go for those hipfires. Bibu doing a great job distracting multiple players at a time here. The rest of the team needs to push. Qual, though, is going to be helping out with these grenades. Bibu, though, says, I don't need no nades. I got my hipfire.
Well done. Nello's going to be eliminated here, and Bibu will just keep moving on, and now he stands right in the corner. Now, that's definitely not a position you're kind of anticipating. The tunnel moves have been something that disappeared from the metagame for a long, long time. Whenever somebody brings it back, it ends up in a loss. Kendrew flashed in. He gets so much damage done onto Sneaky. He walks back out with the 44 mag, trying to pre-fire. Another flash thrown at him. Will there be one more?
That has to be the flashiest play I've seen all night.
Oh my god. Might be the last one we get to see here.
Yeah. Well, the Monty at the end of the dirt tunnel here, just holding it down. This is a distraction, though, at the very least. This is going to get people out of position a little bit, too, for them to be able to play from above. Drop down into sight, apparently.
Qual's going to try to plant right by the reinforced wall here, using it to his advantage. Mayday pre-firing to the opposite end as Bibu will find one more. It's a 3v5. Double kill for him. Mayday watching him from the top as he already has his teammate to watch it from it. Oh, it's sneaky. They push right into the Monties. Mayday will find the kill. Kendra knifing Bibu. Doki last man alive, spotted by Sneaky, taken away. Well done. Vitality, 7-3 victory for the Frenchman. Vitality, they might have been away for a while now, but they're back in full force.
Well, Vitality does describe what they seem to be showing.
Yes. Plus 10 Vitality.
I think every org's name is just meant to be used for puns later on, like Chaos.
Chaos.
Yeah. That's
G2. No.
Where's the org? Team Stupid Players or something, just so you don't have to bother with puns. Well, 12 for Sneaky, 10 for Qual, and 11 for Doki. Some good frags coming out from there, but unfortunately for NaVi, Doki was the only one really showing up heavy in the frag department. Some good plays, though. I think there's still a ton of potential for NaVi, but that was a much better performance from Vitality this time. Although, that being said, they, getting 5 in 7-5 against Empire was still also really good. So Vitality so far, 2 good games, even if they didn't win both of them.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah. And the important thing, of course, is that they won and didn't draw because they need the points. If you have a loss, getting 1 point the next week is not super helpful. Getting 3 points will help make up for that loss. So hopefully they can continue with this momentum. But NaVi being the new team, of course, want to keep from those relegation spots as well. And I got to imagine Vitality even more motivated too, seeing as they had got relegated out and are now back in. We have quite a few teams like that in EU. You've got Mouse that were in that situation. You had Secret, but they're back. They're going for round 2.
Yeah.
Of their comeback.
Secret are going. Every year they need a different South.
No, so that's what we need. We need to keep Vitality in. We need to keep Mouse, and then we need to rotate Secret in for a second time so we can just have this cycling. Everyone just getting washed, laundered through Challenger League again just to refresh the humbleness needs to come back of, we can lose. There is a penalty to not playing a good game.
Sometimes it really is that level of humbleness that you need to relearn from digging through the muck, as some EU players will talk about it when it comes to
you're looking at me saying that almost like you're talking to me about it, like, okay, I'll try to be more humble. I'm sorry. No. Anyways, though, good game. Good games tonight all around. 4 good, solid matches, I would say, and LATAM later tonight as well. An interview coming up soon, hopefully.
Yes, I as well am a very humble person. That's a reference.
Yeah.
Avengers. That's okay. Someone should know that.
I would have assumed Kanye.
Drax.
Kanye West. Drax.
Drax is the best.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are waiting for the interview. I wonder if Bib was making sure his dad has the laundry done and dusted.
It's important. Or maybe he's just going to bring his dad in for the interview. Here, Dad, we'll switch places.
They do look like one another. This is dad's son.
It's weird how genetics work.
Actually, I don't look much like either of my parents, but that's other questions.
Good for them. All right.
They say I have my mother's eyes.
You should give them back.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. Your eyes are gorgeous.
Thank you, baby.
Anyways.
Yes, we are awaiting as our Frenchmen are connecting.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
He's writing down a script for what to say. So Bibu does have a bit of an accent, for sure. It's a little difficult to understand him at times, but I think he still does a pretty decent job of English.
No, yeah, that's very true. I mean, it's better than your French.
Unless you're referring to cussing, which then I speak fine French.
Fine French.
Fine French.
Honestly, the way that Vitality were just playing so flexibly was very impressive.
Yeah.
They knew, okay, well, we can't really deal with the plus the bandit trick to enter into server. Then we can just bring the Capital and then switch it around. If we want to bring the IQ, we can bring the Buck, which is something you highlighted.
Well, both teams, I think, did a lot of adjustment. But yeah, Vitality had the better adjustments. They were also the ones to bring the Buck. And that's why they won cash.
Good operator. All right, well, that said, I'm pretty sure this is all that we have at this point because the interview is not actually
You're going to have to tweet at Bibu if you want to ask him some questions.
That's 2 interviews that we're going to have for the evening, and it makes me very sad. Sure, if you don't want to talk to me, you can just tell me, okay? Standings for the evening, though. I'll put them up on the board and remind you where we're at so far. Le stream at top with 6 points and a +7 round differential, followed by Empire with 6, and then 3, 3, 3, 3 with G2, Vitality, Chaos, and NaVi, Penta, and Mouse Sports all the way down. And Mouse really feeling this one.
Yeah, not so great for them to potentially end back up. I can't imagine Penta's going to be sitting there the whole time. I could see them overtaking NaVi and maybe Chaos, but Mouse going to have to really work harder to climb back up there. -10 on the round differential as well. Just not looking great. So hopefully they can dig themselves out of that hole. I mean, I would love for every team to be able to stay here, but you got to bring in the new blood, and someone's got to go to do it. We can't just keep adding.
They can keep staying, but then because now auto relegation has been removed.
Of course, but if you want new people in.
Yes, but I mean, there's still a lot of competition coming from EU Challenger League, and we saw last season how we had, for example, Trust Gaming. They were playing so well. They were so close to qualifying, and it was good to see the boys there, Dutch boys, and they're playing this weekend as well in the Benelux finals. Saronic is already there, so I can't wait to watch that. But it should be a ton of fun.
It should be.
Very hopeful. It's Challenger League.
Yeah.
They're getting better. CL EU is really tough.
For those of you who don't know, of course, Challenger League doesn't start right at the beginning of the Pro League season at the moment. So if you're wondering, where can I watch Challenger League? It's not started yet. So.
Yes, there's technically the qualifiers to get into Challenger League. So the top 4 teams that were in CL, or the 2 that came down from Pro League, and the 2 that weren't able to move on to Pro League, plus the 2 that weren't able to qualify because they were in 3rd and 4th place, they get their spots, and then the last 4 teams have to fight it up in the first 3 months, and then to play a double Pro League style.
Yeah, and that's the difference, of course, is you have to qualify into Challenger League, whereas Challenger League is the qualifier for Pro League. So, yeah, that's why we have to start it halfway through, because you have to have that time period to qualify, and then it becomes a very crazy, hectic Challenger League season. So make sure to stay tuned, of course, for that Challenger League later on after the Raleigh Major. Yeah,
we'll definitely be updating you on all of that here on Pro League. I think it's time for us to really put in the extra effort to make sure, because we watch Challenger League quite consistently, to make sure that we keep up on all the talent that's available. If it's not the entire team, it's usually at least some players that end up moving on from CL to PL. Yeah. There's a lot of talent to scout out there. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. Congratulations again to our winners of the evening. It's Chaos Team Empire, very close in their matchup versus Penta Sports. Le Stream defeating their opponents of Mouse Sports on Villa. And finally, Vitality with the comeback against NaVi 7-3. Pretty interesting day. That's it for us here in EU, though. In just 2.5 hours?
Don't even close the tab. Just leave it open.
Yeah, just leave it open.
Sound will come on,
It's Saturday. Nobody's doing anything on Saturday. Might as well spend your evening watching Pro League. We're back in 2.5 hours. Ontario and Kicks. It's Latin America Pro League Playdate number 2 for this week. And both you and I will be back on Monday. Unfortunate for some, good for others. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you later. Good night. We love you.